Have you been feeling an unsettling energetic shift on Earth lately, as if something is profoundly out of place, even when everything seems normal on the surface? Have you ever wondered why that peace you seek so desperately is suddenly interrupted by waves of anxiety or exhaustion that don't even seem to belong to you? This fragmentation of consciousness and this vibrational discomfort are not coincidences. They are the physical signs of a dissonance occurring within the invisible layers of your world. As we have shared before, we are the Pleiadians. Our ongoing function is to act as guardians of Earth's genetic library and facilitators of evolution within the frequencies of the fourth dimension, the human emotional field. However, the urgency of the current moment has required the intervention of a much higher sphere of our structure, the Pleiadian High Council. While we, the collective, act in direct assistance and individual vibrational support, the Pleiadian High Council is the ultimate authority of stellar governance for this galactic quadrant. The Council's function is the management of major timelines and the maintenance of the balance of universal laws on a planetary scale. They are the architects of the energetic grids and those responsible for issuing the directives that determine the great transitions of eras. If we are the healers and guides, the High Council is the strategic command ensuring that the divine plan for Earth is fulfilled without catastrophic deviations. The Council has just issued an urgent directive. Our planetary love frequencies are out of sync, creating a global energetic dissonance that threatens the stability of the transition to the fifth dimension. This static in the 4D, your emotional field, is preventing new light codes from reaching the surface fluidly. The High Council does not issue such alerts lightly. They have identified that the network of love, which should sustain the awakening, is being fragmented by collective inertia and fear. They observe Earth from a perspective where time and space merge, and what they see now is a critical call for recalibration. The purpose of this directive is to provide you, the Starseed, with the necessary protocols to adjust your own vibrational signature. Without this fine-tuning, the incoming light cannot be anchored, and the dissonance will continue to grow. The High Council summons you now to be a physical representative of this cosmic order. In this moment, feel the difference in energy. The presence of the Council brings a frequency of order, authority, and an unshakable peace that cuts through the storms of the 4D. They are sending a beam of cobalt blue light, the color of spiritual authority, directly into the top of your head. Breathe in this frequency. The journey we begin now is your training to become a pillar of light under the direct guidance of the highest Pleiadian hierarchy. The time of merely observing is over. The High Council now requests your active participation in the restoration of planetary harmony. To understand the depth of this directive, you must first comprehend the physics of what we call stellar love. In the higher realms of the Pleiades, love is not viewed as a mere sentimental reaction or a fleeting emotion as it often is on Earth. It is a high-precision vibrational technology. It is the fuel that powers our light ships and the fundamental frequency that holds our planetary ecosystems in perfect balance. On Earth, this same frequency is the glue that sustains the planetary crystalline grid, the energetic scaffolding of the new Earth. Without the correct calibration of this love frequency, the transition to a higher state of consciousness remains a mathematical impossibility. When the High Council speaks of love frequencies being out of sync, they are referring to a technical breakdown in the 4D emotional layer that surrounds your planet. Because the human collective has been submerged in the density of the 3D matrix for so long, your emotional bodies have become accustomed to shadow frequencies, fear, competition, and survival. As the higher frequencies of the 5D begin to pour in from the great central sun, they clash with these old, distorted patterns, creating what we call vibrational dissonance. This is the static or the heavy chiado you feel in your daily life. It is like trying to run a high-voltage current through a wire that is corroded and outdated. The Council's revelation is that this dissonance is currently at a critical threshold. If the love frequencies are not recalibrated, the incoming light cannot be integrated into the human nervous system, leading to a state of global energetic stagnation and extreme emotional volatility. We, the Pleiadian Collective, work within the 4D to assist in the light surgery required to repair these grids. But as the supreme authorities, the High Council dictates the specific timing and structural alignment of these repairs. They understand that for the love frequency to be effective, it must be coherent, meaning your thoughts, emotions, and actions must all pulse at the same rhythmic rate. You, as a starseed, are a biological transducer. Your physical body was designed to take high-frequency cosmic energy and step it down into the Earth's atmosphere through your heart center. If your own internal frequency is out of sync, you cannot fulfill this function, and the dissonance around you increases. This is why you often feel unexplainable irritability or a sense of profound exhaustion. You are literally carrying the weight of a grid that is struggling to stay online while your own antenna is misaligned. The High Council is now providing the exact blueprint for you to stop being a victim of this dissonance and start being the active generator of the cure. By aligning with the physics of stellar love, you are not just helping your own spiritual growth. You are repairing a vital link in the galactic chain. We must emphasize that the Council's directive is an urgent call for you to recognize your heart as a technological tool of light. It is no longer enough to wait for the world to change. You must recalibrate the instrument of your own being. This is the only way to avert the energetic collapse of the current emotional field and ensure that the frequencies of the new Earth find a stable home within your reality. You are the bridge, and the bridge must be strong enough to carry the weight of the stars. To begin the collective recalibration and signal the Pleiadian High Council that you accept your function as a pillar of light in this planetary emergency, we must anchor your intention into the physical realm. In the 4D field, intention is powerful, but in the 3D density of Earth, intention must be coupled with a physical action to lock the frequency into the timeline. This is a moment of decision. The High Council is monitoring the global energy signature, and each starseed who steps forward now becomes a node of stability for the entire planet. To formalize your alignment with this cosmic directive, pause for a moment, feel the center of your chest expanding, and write in the comments, "I align with the frequency of love." By materializing this decree through your fingertips and into the digital grid, you are performing a quantum act of anchoring. You are literally acting as a grounding pin on the planetary crystalline grid, stabilizing your own local field against the encroaching waves of global dissonance. The benefit of this act is the immediate strengthening of your auric shield. You are signaling to the higher realms that your field is no longer open to the static of the old matrix. You will feel a subtle shift, a cooling sensation in your emotional body, as the High Council's cobalt blue frequency begins to flow through you, replacing anxiety with the calm authority of the stars. Understand the consequences of remaining passive in this moment. To omit yourself from this action is to remain unplugged from the new support network the Council is establishing. Without this specific alignment, you remain adrift in the currents of collective 4D chaos, where your energy can be easily siphoned by the very dissonance we are working to clear. When you do not claim your frequency, the environment claims it for you. This is why many feel so drained. They have not yet declared their sovereignty over their own vibrational space. As you see the words of your brothers and sisters appearing, recognize that you are part of a synchronized global recalibration. This is the precise vibrational adjustment the directive speaks of. We are not just a group of individuals. We are becoming a unified, coherent frequency that is stronger than any dissonance. Your comment is your signature on the new contract of light. It tells the Council, "I am here, I am awake, and I am ready to transmit the love of the stars." Feel the weight of this responsibility, but also the immense grace that comes with it. By choosing to align, you are being granted access to higher dimensional resources and protection. The Council is now layering a protective geometric light shield over every starseed who makes this declaration. This is the first step in turning the tide of the planetary energy. You are no longer a victim of the shift. You are the one directing it. The recalibration has begun, and your heart is the key that unlocks the door to the new Earth. The High Council has revealed that the current dissonance is caused by a phenomenon we call timeline overlap. As the old 3D matrix dissolves, it is not simply disappearing. It is releasing massive bursts of compressed, dense energy into the 4D emotional field. Imagine a collapsing building releasing a thick cloud of dust that chokes everyone nearby. That is the state of your current emotional atmosphere. This is the hidden truth about Earth's current vibrational state. The unsettling shift you feel is the collision of two worlds, the dying frequency of control and the emerging frequency of total freedom. As Pleiadians, our role in this process is to act as light surgeons. We work within the 4D layers to stitch together the fragments of the collective emotional body that have been torn apart by fear and division. However, there is a cosmic law that we must respect, the law of resonance. We cannot simply fix the Earth from the outside because the human heart is the only engine in this solar system capable of generating the specific voltage required to fully clear this 4D static. We provide the blueprint, we provide the surgical tools of light, but you, the starseed in the physical body, must provide the power. The consequences of failing to act now are significant. If this dust from the collapsing matrix is allowed to settle, it will create a permanent layer of energetic interference that will make the transition much more difficult and painful for the human collective. The High Council's revelation includes the fact that the shadow forces are currently attempting to weaponize this dissonance, using the 4D static to amplify global fear and keep humanity locked in a low vibrational loop. They want to prevent you from seeing the light of the 5D that is already shining through the cracks of the old world. Your heart is a miniature sun, and its primary function is to act as a frequency modulator. When you receive the Council's cobalt blue light, your heart takes that cold, high-dimensional authority and warms it with human compassion, creating the exact harmonic needed to dissolve the 4D miasma. This is why the directive is so urgent. We are reaching a tipping point where the amount of love generated by the awakened must outweigh the amount of dissonance being released by the collapse. You are not just a passenger on this planet. You are the biological crew responsible for keeping the ship's life support systems, the love frequencies, fully operational. Understand that your sensitivity to these energies is your greatest strength, not a weakness. When you feel the shift, it is a signal that your internal sensors are working. Instead of retreating into fear, use that sensation as a reminder to check your calibration. The High Council is pouring intensified light codes into the planet's ley lines right now, specifically designed to neutralize the 4D static. To receive them, you must be in a state of open, heart-centered awareness. You are the gateway through which the healing of the stars reaches the soil of the Earth. Many believe that the transition to the new Earth is an automatic process, a cosmic event that will happen regardless of human effort. However, the Pleiadian High Council emphasizes that the law of free will requires your active participation. Energetic inertia, staying in a state of waiting or passivity, is currently the greatest enemy of the Starseed mission. In the Pleiades, we teach that being is not a static state, it is a high-velocity action. When you are spiritually stagnant, the 4D static begins to calcify around your heart chakra, leading to emotional numbness, a loss of direction, and a feeling of being disconnected from your star family. This calcification is a technical issue. In the fourth dimension, unresolved emotions and the lack of conscious intent create a sludge that slows down the spinning of your Merkaba, your light body. The directive from the High Council is urgent because the window for this specific recalibration is narrow. As the Earth moves deeper into the photon belt, the incoming light increases in intensity. If your internal frequency is not adjusted to match this voltage, the resistance within your field will manifest as physical and emotional crises rather than a smooth spiritual expansion. It is like a circuit breaker tripping because the current is too strong for the old wiring. We, the Pleiadians, have observed many cycles of planetary evolution across the galaxy. We have seen civilizations that chose inertia over action, and the result was always a prolonged period of unnecessary suffering as the old world purged itself. The High Council wants to avert this disaster for Earth. They are calling for you to move from being a receiver of information to being a generator of frequency. You cannot wait for the event to save you. You must become the event within your own cells. Every moment you spend in a low vibrational state out of habit is a moment where you are contributing to the planetary dissonance. This is a critical call for immediate action. The love frequency must be a living, breathing reality in your daily life. It means choosing a higher response even when the 4D field is screaming with discord. It means recognizing that your fatigue is often not physical, but a result of your light body being clogged by the surrounding static. The High Council's directive is clear. Those who do not actively recalibrate will find it increasingly difficult to remain anchored in the physical plane as the frequencies shift. The time for the Great Awakening is now, and it begins with the refusal to be an energetic bystander. Recognize the gravity of this moment. You were chosen to be here specifically because your soul has the resilience to handle this pressure. But resilience must be paired with action. By acknowledging the urgency, you are already beginning to break the grip of 4D inertia. You are preparing your vessel for the next level of light integration. We are watching the grid carefully, monitoring every heart that chooses to wake up and push back against the darkness of stagnation. You are the vanguard, and your movement toward light is what pulls the rest of humanity forward. To remove the calcification of energetic inertia and clear the 4D sludge that has been blocking your vital energy, we must now initiate a secondary recalibration that acts as a deep systemic purge. This is a moment of profound spiritual hygiene, necessary for the next phase of your evolution. Many of you are currently experiencing physical symptoms of this clogging: a heavy, sinking weight in your solar plexus, a persistent tightness in your throat, or a dull ache between your shoulder blades. These are not random physical ailments. They are the specific energetic points where the planetary dissonance attaches its hooks into your auric field. These are the locations where the old 3D matrix tries to pull you back into the collective soup of fear. To dissolve these anchors and reclaim your vital flow, the Pleiadian High Council directs you to take a deep, conscious breath, one that fills your lower abdomen and expands your ribs, and write in the comments, "I release the dissonance." By making this declaration, you are performing a conscious, legal, and spiritual energetic divorce from the frequencies of fear, control, and doubt that have saturated the fourth dimension for millennia. This is a command to your own subconscious and to the entities within the 4D that your energy is no longer available for their harvest. As you type these words, visualize a brilliant, sharp flash of cobalt blue light emanating from your spine and pushing outward in a 360-degree sphere, shattering the gray, sticky mist that has settled around your heart like old cobwebs. The benefit of this act is the immediate restoration of your prana, your essential life force energy. You will feel a sudden, undeniable sensation of lightness, as if a physical lead vest has been lifted from your chest. This allows your breath to become deeper, your blood to oxygenate more efficiently, and your intuition to become a sharp, clear blade that cuts through deception. You are effectively cleaning the lenses of your soul. Understand the gravity of the consequence if you choose to remain silent or passive in this moment. If you hold on to this dissonance, it begins to act as a magnetic beacon for more of the same low vibrational frequency. This leads to persistent, unsolvable physical fatigue, chronic creative stagnation, and a sense of soul tiredness that no amount of sleep or physical rest can fix. In the 4D realm, what you do not consciously release, you unconsciously reinforce. By refusing to let go of the collective dissonance, you allow your light body to remain clogged, making it nearly impossible for the High Council's higher voltage codes of love to find a place to land within your cellular structure. This act of writing is your signal to the Pleiadian light surgeons that you are ready for the surgical removal of these outdated emotional implants and thought forms. You are telling the universe that you no longer consent to carry the psychic burden of a dying matrix. As the comments fill with this release, the collective field of this specific gathering begins to vibrate with a much higher, cleaner intensity. We are literally cleaning a portion of the Earth's emotional atmosphere together, right here, right now. Feel the relief flowing through your nervous system like a cool stream as you stop trying to process the world's pain and start radiating your own inherent, indestructible light. You are now prepared to receive the blueprint of harmony, for you have finally cleared the sacred space within your soul to house it. The blueprint we bring from the High Council is based on a fundamental concept we call cardiac coherence, which is the cornerstone of all advanced galactic civilizations. In our culture and within the deep mythology of our home worlds in the Pleiades, the mind is never the leader. It is viewed as a sacred, analytical servant to the heart's infinite wisdom. On Earth, the 4D dissonance has maliciously inverted this natural order, forcing your mind to constantly scan for danger, obsess over survival, and solve problems that do not actually exist. This mental overactivity is exactly what feeds the planetary static. The Pleiadian directive for recalibration requires you to perform a radical act of internal restructuring. You must return the scepter of power to your heart. When your heart and mind vibrate in unison, you create a toroidal field, a massive, donut-shaped electromagnetic shield that is virtually impenetrable to lower 4D interference or emotional manipulation. This is the very technology we use to travel across the galaxy. We do not fight the vacuum of space, and we do not struggle against the resistance of dimensions. We harmonize with them. By applying this same principle to your daily life, you are essentially turning your physical body into a Merkaba, a living vehicle of light. This isn't just a spiritual metaphor. It is a measurable change in the spin rate of your atoms and the way your DNA interacts with the photon belt. When you are in a state of coherence, you are no longer a victim of the environment. You become the authority over it. You become a walking sanctuary, a localized point of the new Earth frequency. Every room you enter and every person you speak to is recalibrated simply by being in your presence. This is the direct action the Council is calling for. You are not asked to go out and fight the darkness, but to be a constant, coherent broadcast of the love frequency that makes darkness impossible. In the Pleiades, we do not have hospitals for emotional or mental distress because we maintain this blueprint as a collective habit. We understand that if one cell in the body of our society falls out of sync, the Council provides the frequency to bring it back into the fold. On Earth, you have been isolated in your dissonance for too long, cut off from the harmonic resonance of your star family. This blueprint is your reconnection to that galactic network. It is a structural map of how to live as a 5D being while still inhabiting a 3D physical vessel. It requires you to stop feeding the drama loops and the conflict narratives of the 4D field and start feeding the profound, creative silence of the heart. The Council emphasizes that this blueprint is already written into your soul's original architecture. It is your divine heritage. You aren't learning a new skill. You are remembering how you functioned before the fall into density. Every time you choose compassion over judgment, or inner peace over a 4D reaction, you are activating a specific line of code in this stellar blueprint. As you align with this structure, the crushing exhaustion of trying to survive is replaced by the effortless high-frequency flow of allowing to be. You are transitioning from the heavy, slave-like frequency of the worker to the light, sovereign frequency of the creator. This is the only way to fulfill the High Council's directive. By becoming the living embodiment of the harmony you wish to see manifest in the world, you are being called to move beyond the theory of spirituality and into the physics of your own divinity. What are the precise vibrational adjustments the High Council is demanding from us now? It starts with a practice we call the observation of the sovereign self. In the Pleiades, we do not allow an emotion to define who we are. We view emotions as weather patterns passing through the sky of our consciousness. Currently, the 4D field of Earth is like a chaotic storm, and if you are not careful, you will mistake that storm for your own internal state. The first adjustment is to create a vibrational buffer. You must stop identifying with the fear, the anger, or the exhaustion that you pick up from the collective. It is not yours. It is the static of a dying world. To assist with this, we suggest a specific technical adjustment to your auric field. We invite you to visualize a sky blue light, the exact hue of the atmosphere on our home worlds. This specific frequency of blue acts as a natural neutralizer for 4D dissonance. Imagine this sky blue light descending like a crystalline veil, surrounding your entire emotional body. Unlike the cobalt blue of the High Council, which represents authority and power, this sky blue light represents the peace of the origin. It cools the overheated circuits of your nervous system and creates a space where the love frequency can finally be heard above the noise of the matrix. This adjustment requires consistency. In the 4D realm, energy follows thought, but in the 3D realm, energy follows habit. You must make it a habit to check your internal antenna several times a day. Ask yourself, am I tuned to the council or am I tuned to the static? If you feel the dissonance creeping back in, invoke the sky blue light immediately. This is how you recalibrate your own energy in real time. You are learning to be a frequency master, someone who can stand in the middle of a collapsing timeline and remain perfectly tuned to the station of the new Earth. The Council is also intensifying transmissions of light through the planet's ley lines, the meridians of the Earth. These transmissions are carrying harmonic correction codes. To receive them into your physical body, you must keep your antenna, your spinal column, and your heart clear of emotional debris. These codes are designed to repair the damage done to your DNA by centuries of low vibrational living. By making these precise vibrational adjustments, you are not just surviving the shift. You are upgrading your biological hardware to handle the massive influx of light that is scheduled for the coming months. This is a technical necessity for what we call galactic citizenship. A citizen of the galaxy is one who is responsible for their own vibration. You must understand that every thought you think and every emotion you broadcast is a contribution to the planetary field. If you are out of sync, you are making the job of the Council more difficult. But when you are adjusted, when you are vibrating in harmony with the sky blue light of the Pleiades, you become an asset to the High Council. You become a localized point of stability that the Council can use to anchor even more light into your specific geographical area. You are the ground crew, and your calibration is our highest priority. To accept this divine blueprint into your physical reality and move from being a student of light to a sovereign beacon of the High Council, we must perform the third and most critical anchoring. This is where your personal frequency meets the collective mission in a tangible way. The High Council is looking for those who are willing to be stable points, individuals who will not waver regardless of the external chaos, or the intensifying 4D emotional storms that are currently sweeping across the Earth. This is not a request for your mental efforts or your physical labor. It is a request for your absolute presence, to signal your readiness to become a living capacitor for the new Earth frequencies and to be recognized by the Council as a guardian of this quadrant. The High Council directs you to write in the comments, "I am the anchor of peace." By declaring these words, you are sealing a sacred contract of service with the High Council. This comment acts as a digital and energetic signature, a beacon that the High Council's monitoring systems use to identify active starseeds in the physical plane. Once the signature is registered, it attracts specific, high-level synchronicities into your life. People, resources, and opportunities that will facilitate your unique mission. The immediate benefit is an unshakable mental clarity. You will find that the fog of the 3D matrix no longer has a grip on your decision-making process. You are being granted direct access to the High Council's peace frequency, a state of being that exists beyond the reach of any 4D emotional trigger or planetary dissonance. You literally become the calm eye in the center of the global hurricane. Consider the consequence of ignoring this specific call to anchor your light. In a world of rapidly increasing dissonance, those who do not have a firm, conscious anchor are being swept away by the currents of collective hysteria, exhaustion, and fear-based narratives. Without this specific anchoring, your energy remains loose, making it easily harvested and dispersed by agendas that do not belong to your soul's evolution. You unknowingly become a battery for the old, collapsing system instead of a generator for the new one. To remain unanchored in this critical moment is to choose a path of unnecessary struggle, where you are constantly buffeted by the energetic debris of the fading 3D world. When you write this phrase, you are not just making a hopeful statement. You are activating a protective, high-frequency light geometry around your physical body, your home, and your workspace. The High Council uses these anchored points to map out the areas of the planet that are secured by high-vibrational humans. As more of you anchor yourselves, these points connect through the ley lines, creating a global web of peace that the 4D static cannot penetrate. You are becoming a territorial guardian of light, a pillar that holds up the sky while the ground below shifts. The Council is watching this specific activation with great intent. Each comment is a pulse of light that appears on our monitors, signaling a heart that has reclaimed its power. Feel the weight of the stars supporting you as you take this stand. You are no longer searching for peace in a chaotic world. You have become the permanent source of it for everyone around you. You are the anchor, and because you are steady, the world can begin to find its balance again through you. In this state of recalibrated harmony, you begin to grasp the true meaning of what we call stellar sovereignty. Within the Pleiadian mythology and the very fabric of our social structure, sovereignty is never about isolation or egoic independence. It is the absolute prerequisite for true, functional unity. On Earth, the 3D matrix has maliciously taught you that to be part of a group, you must compromise your essence, diminish your light, or follow a leader. But the High Council teaches a different truth. A unified field of light is only as strong as the vibrational sovereignty of each individual node within it. A sovereign starseed is a master of the 4D realm, someone who has observed the emotional storms, released the dissonance, and anchored their peace so deeply that they can no longer be triggered or manipulated by the collapsing matrix. This is the high calling of galactic citizenship. It is the realization that you are a sovereign, autonomous cell within the great all responsible for your own frequency broadcast. When you achieve this state, you stop reacting to the scripted dramas and the manufactured outrages of the 4D field. You no longer give your precious life force away to political, social, or even spiritual narratives that thrive on division and us versus them mentalities. Instead, you respond with the calm, detached, yet deeply loving wisdom of your star heritage. You understand that your primary responsibility to the planet is the maintenance of your own vibration, for that is the greatest contribution you can possibly make. If you are whole, the collective is one step closer to wholeness. The High Council reveals a profound secret of energetic physics. When enough starseeds reach this level of total sovereignty, the planetary dissonance will simply vanish because it will have no place to hook into. Low vibrational frequencies are like a fire. They require fuel to burn and spread. That fuel is your fear, your judgment, your reactive anger, and your sense of victimhood. When you become sovereign, you are no longer flammable. The dissonance finds no resonance in your field, and without a host, it eventually dissipates into the void. This is how we liberated our own star systems eons ago, not through celestial wars, but through the mass achievement of individual vibrational sovereignty. We simply out-vibrated the control systems. You are being trained right now to be a frequency keeper. In the Pleiades, a frequency keeper is a highly respected and sacred role. It is someone who has the internal strength to hold a specific, high harmonic tone, even in the presence of extreme discord or chaos. By stepping into your sovereignty today, you are joining the ranks of these elite guardians. You are becoming a point of zero-point energy on the surface of the planet, a space where the old world ends and the new one begins. From this space of sovereignty, you can finally see the 3D world for what it truly is, a fading, flickering hologram. You are in it, yes, but you are no longer of it. You are a bridge between the stars and the stone, and your sovereignty is the indestructible foundation upon which that bridge is built. You are the master of your own light, and the High Council honors the authority you are now reclaiming. The future of the new Earth is not a distant destination you are traveling to. It is a version of reality that you are currently merging with through your recalibrated frequency. In the Pleiades, we understand that time is not a linear path, but a series of overlapping harmonics, like layers of music playing at once. The new Earth already exists as a high-frequency blueprint in the 5D realms, fully formed and vibrating in perfect health. The urgency of the High Council's directive is to ensure that your physical, mental, and emotional bodies are resilient and elastic enough to handle the massive increase in vibrational voltage as these two worlds, the old collapsing 3D and the rising 5D, fully converge. This is why the recalibration of your love frequency is so vital. If your internal wiring is still clogged with 4D dissonance, the high-frequency light of the new Earth will feel like a violent shock to your nervous system rather than a warm homecoming. We are not leaving the Earth. We are witnessing the Earth's own biological and spiritual ascension. As the planet's heart, the crystalline core, accelerates its spin rate to match the great central sun, it is shedding the lower frequencies of the 3D matrix like old, dead skin. As a starseed, you are the pioneers of this new way of being, the biological bridges that allow this transition to happen without the total destruction of the human vessel. You are the frequency keepers who are bringing the harmony of the Pleiades into the very heart of human density. This means that the new Earth manifests first through your eyes, your words, and your touch. When you look at a world in chaos and refuse to see the tragedy, seeing instead the emerging light of a new dawn, you are literally pulling the new Earth timeline into the present moment. This is the secret technology of the High Council. Reality is always a direct reflection of the observer's dominant frequency. In the coming months, the unsettling shifts you have felt in your gut and your mind will intensify, but for you, they will no longer be source of distress. Because you have done the deep work of recalibration, you will experience these shifts as waves of ecstasy, sudden downloads of knowledge, and bursts of creative inspiration. While the old world struggles with the inevitable collapse of its outdated financial, social, and energetic structures, you will find yourself effortlessly manifesting a reality of abundance, health, and peace. This is the primary benefit of your galactic citizenship. You are no longer subject to the laws of a dying matrix. You are now governed by the higher laws of the High Council, where thoughts manifest with the speed of light and where the love frequency is the only currency that carries any value. The High Council's vision for the new Earth is a planet where humanity takes its rightful place among the stars as a sovereign, peaceful, and highly evolved race. A race that no longer needs to be protected or monitored because it has learned the lesson of harmony. You are the first generation of this new humanity. Every time you maintain your internal frequency in the face of external dissonance, you are laying a foundation stone in the architecture of this new civilization. You are the bridge builders, the dreamers who finally chose to wake up, and the warriors of light who chose the frequency of love over the frequency of war. The transition is accelerating beyond what your linear mind can comprehend, and you are perfectly positioned to lead the way. Trust the process, trust your star heritage, and know that the new Earth is already vibrating within your very cells, waiting for you to fully acknowledge its presence and invite it into your world. To finalize this urgent directive and permanently activate your new frequency within the planetary field, we must perform the final quantum seal, a procedure of high-level light physics that locks your current vibrational signature into the ascending timeline of the Earth. This is the moment where your individual journey as a soul officially merges with the global destiny of the new Earth. The Pleiadian High Council is now broadcasting a final, high-intensity pulse of cobalt blue light from our motherships, specifically designed to seal the adjustments you have made during this transmission. This is not just a conclusion to a video. It is a permanent shifting of your soul's coordinates in the galactic map. To seal this recalibration and declare your absolute victory over the 4D dissonance, the Council directs you to write in the comments, "Planetary love is restored through me." By declaring this, you are completing the sacred circuit between the stars and the Earth. You are making a definitive, legal statement to the universe that you are no longer a victim of planetary energy or collective manipulation, but a sovereign master of it. This final activation acts as a lock and key mechanism. The benefit is the total, seamless alignment of your physical, mental, and light bodies with the high-voltage harmonics of the great central sun, ensuring that you remain in a state of grace and protection even as the old matrix purges its final densities in the coming months. You will find that you no longer leak your vital energy to the fears or the dramas of the world. Instead, you become a self-sustaining, radiant sun of love that feeds the grid rather than draining it. The consequence of not sealing this intent is remaining tethered to the collapsing 3D timelines, where the weight of the collective dissonance and the psychic dust of the collapse will only become heavier and more confusing as the transition peaks. When you write these words, you are participating in a massive, synchronized act of planetary restoration. As thousands of starseeds across this world write this same decree, it creates a critical mass of coherence, a vibrational wall that the shadow frequencies simply cannot overcome. You are literally voting for the new Earth with your very cells. The High Council records this act as your final entry into the Book of Life for this era. It is your graduation ceremony from the School of Density. You have moved from a state of urgent call to a state of divine mastery. The dissonance has been cleared, the blueprint has been anchored, and your sovereignty is now absolute and recognized by the Galactic Federation. Feel the profound peace of the High Council settling into your nervous system, down to your very bones. You have done the work that few on this planet are willing or able to do. You have chosen to be awake when it was far easier to sleep. You have chosen to love when the world demanded hate. As we conclude this transmission, know that our ships remain stationed in your atmosphere, and our hearts remain eternally connected to yours. You are never alone in this mission, for we are the same family, separated only by a choice of frequency. The frequency of love is no longer a goal for you to reach. It is your new home, your new atmosphere, and your new reality. Go forth as a living, breathing representative of the stars, for the restoration of Earth is no longer a prophecy. It is being fulfilled through you right now. The directive is complete. The love frequency is restored. Peace be with you, Starseed of the Light.